Today, there was a significant development with the Attorney General submitting in the Supreme Court that there is a need for greater education, especially amongst the lower judiciary. This happened in the context of an earlier Madhya Pradesh High Court order, which had granted a condition of bail to be as the accused getting a Rakhi tied from the victim. Clearly, this submission of the Attorney General is hugely interesting in the backdrop of a plethora of orders coming in from various courts in India, oftentimes which reek of insensitivity towards gender justice and also gender equality. To talk to me a little more about such complex issues, we're being joined by the former Additional Solicitor General and also Senior Advocate Ms. Pinky Anand. Ma'am, at the outset, your thoughts on this submission of the attorney, which clearly has brought forth a lacuna perhaps that exists in law for the need for greater education amongst the judiciary itself.
See, it's not really a lacuna in law. This is a thought process, and I think that is why the attorney very rightly, I mean, it's been something which has been irking one, if I might say so, as a lawyer, as much as a person who's part of the public society and civil society, to say there is sacrilege that has happened. In that event, how can it be written off by a social custom? It's as if you're trying to wash away the situation. So this kind of mind perception that is there, the kind of insensitivity that is there, is something that needs to be addressed. You know, Meenakshi, when we talk about this larger issue of assault, sexual assault, of rape, of any kind of ignominy to women, you basically do realize that a lot of it has to do with the mindset. And mindset of not only the perpetrator but the mindset of society, which sometimes feels that it is all right, or it is sometimes it is not something which is, it should be forgiven literally. So tying a Rakhi is also part of a forgiving process, so to say, or to say that no further things should be done. So I think this is something which definitely needs to be stalled, and I think we've been facing it for a long time. The IR has been there. It is very good that the highest constitutional office of the country, the attorney, has flagged it. And I think we are at a time today when we are also discussing how we need to always sensitize the judiciary. The judiciary is sensitive. So the question is, where does the ball go today in such kind of cases? And this is where I think we need all this process of education. When we talk about education, it is not only educating the society, but the judiciary also is a member and a part of society. So the larger sensitization issue that we are talking about, so that the victim doesn't get away without having relief from justice. The accused doesn't get away with simply by an act of tying anything, even Rakhi, or even otherwise apologizing. The question is, if a wrong has been committed, the law should take its course, and definitely the victim wants it. So to have the social custom of doing away with is not something which is acceptable in the due process.
And ma'am, very quickly, the attorney also said that there is a need to have perhaps a portion of the curriculum in judicial academies set aside for a chapter or a course on gender sensitization for all those people who are training to become judges.
I think in all these cases, gender sensitization, human rights, each of these issues, you do need to have a sensitization course. As much as you talk about, for example, ethics, you talk about sensitivity. Sensitization is a process which leads you on to become a more humane judge, but a judge who rules and as per law. So as far as courts are concerned, as far as judges are concerned, they should decide as per law. When the matters come to the judges, it has come because a victim has come forth, or a complaint has come forth, or an FIR has come forth. Now, that having been said, the process of law has been put into focus. Once that comes into focus, the decision also must be accordingly as per the rule of law, and not as per a thought process or a belief that it is something which is either minor or major or can be washed away. These are not for, I think, courts to really delve into, and that is a hallmark of rule of law.
So there you have it, Pinky Anand telling us about her thought process, and also completely endorsing the attorney's point of view, saying that this is the need of the hour. Perhaps the architecture of law already exists. What lacks is the sensitivity to apply that in particular to cases of offences against women.